It'd be cool helping somebody. Not cool, but just a nice thing to do. Something great. Helping somebody start a business or start a business for somebody, right? But you're not just gonna throw your money into some investment you're not sure about. So I would like to help somebody. If it's not too crazy, we could talk about it. Um, Start a small business, or we could partner up, and then you could run it for me from whatever town you're in. We could both make money, and you could be your own boss after that. You don't have to work a 9 to 5 anymore. Just figure out what you're good at, or what you're great at, and what you're gonna get even better at, and then we'll figure out the business part. But it shouldn't be that hard, right? And I'm not saying I have a shit ton of money to invest, but enough money to help somebody start up. I'm a busy person. Um, these past 4 days is the only time I feel I haven't been busy all year. Uh, well, I'd say 8 months because I tend to take a break, a 2 to 3 month break every year. Um, so yeah, I would like to help somebody out, help somebody start a business. It's because it teaches me about business, teaches me about a different skill, different trade, different business altogether. So I think that would be great. And plus, I mean, there's something that we all want to do, something in life, something greater. For me, it's just honestly, I figured it out. I mean, even since I was young, I wanted to help people. Right? I used to go to sleep when I was in elementary. I used to go to sleep and pray to God that He would help. He would make the day go by fast, so I could be another day older, because it would get me a day closer to being older, and I could work and I could help my family. I could help my parents so they don't have to struggle. Because they would work hard. We always had a roof over our head, food on the table. My dad always worked hard, so did my mom. They would go sell at the flea market as well, aside from my dad's uh, day job. Um, but yeah, they did everything possible to make it for us, and forever grateful. And so I think that's what instilled that moral of helping others and being there for others, and even if it's just giving somebody advice. So if somebody was like, well, had some electrical questions, I try my best to give you the best possible solution based on my experience and based on my knowledge in electrical, low voltage. um, let's see, haircuts, tattoos, uh, contracts, business. Still learning this, uh, what is it called? Streaming stuff, platforms and stuff. So I'm still learning that. So y'all could teach me that. That'd be awesome. But all this, you can't take it with you. You can't do shit with it. Afterlife. Um, so make a lot of fucking money and leave it to the people you love. Make that your objective, your desire, your goal in life is to, for me, happiness, my happiness comes from seeing other people happy. And that's genuinely true in most fathers when they're thinking about their kids, because of course you want to put your family first, your kids first, and you can't blame a person for that. That's why some form of nepotism is okay, because you're doing it for your kids. I mean, other people from looking at it from the outside in are not gonna understand that. They don't care to understand it. They just don't like the fact that you might be in a position that's helpful to others, and especially helpful to your children. And of course, we all want our children to get those easy opportunities and make something great of it. But it's not always like that. But I also have um, people that have worked for me that um, stick it out, youngsters and stuff that are learning it really well, newcomers that are learning it really well. So been able to create a lot of great opportunities for them. And that's just 10% of my day and my life. I wish I could tell y'all the other part of it. No, I still can. I will. But my day consists of running my company, and then whether I'm somewhere else or on the site, I'm nonstop working. Um, Learning this is just a hobby. Learning streaming and being on every platform, and that hobby. Be honest with you, what I have to do, what I want to do, is I want to use whatever monetizing I could get from it from all the platforms and use it to help others. Use it to go and help, somebody buy a buy groceries or eventually buy a home and buy them a car. Cause I mean, on the side of town that I grew up in, you always saw people walking. We saw a big homeless population, a good amount of drifters, and some of them you could tell they've had a challenging life, and they want only to be helped, right? Sometimes you can't just put your hand out and help somebody, obviously, but if you're good, if you're pretty good with reading people, then you'd be helping out a lot more people. And I know it also takes finances, also takes money to help people. Just like they say, it takes money to make money. It takes people to help people, right? So the more the merrier. And I like some of the videos. I've always thought that was cool because it was heartwarming and touching that an individual would go and help others. And we've done that for so many years. And by what I mean by we is me and my family. We've done that for so many years that even my kids, they're like, "Dad, you're a hard ass," but they don't tell me like that, right? But you're tough, you're strict, but you have a heart for people. Like, as far as one thing I always tell them is, hey, everybody got to eat, and if I can help somebody eat for that day, that's me doing my part as hard as much as I could in what I could afford to do, because if I could, I would. That's the first people I would help is our people, the homeless, and that's white, black, brown, um, all walks of life, especially those that have mental problems, because if you're as a kid, hopefully kids eventually see this. Uh, you'll see kids in special ed and special classes, and you got to think like, who helps them out after that, after they've grown out of school, who helps them out? And it's the parents, and then the parents grow up and they get old, and sometimes they pass, and sometimes they just can't do it, and those kids that you saw once before, they end up in the street homeless, and we think they're on drugs, but the reality of it is they were in a special class where they might have been physically or mentally challenged. So it's kind of tough. It's tough. But I do plan on doing more, not more, but doing it and then doing more. Like barbecues, free barbecues, not just to bring the community out, because I mean it's a good way to network for people that have businesses. And if you have a business and you want me to shout it out, put it on here, like put it in the chat, and I'll write it down. And you have my word, I will shout it out every um, live stream that I do. But yeah, that's another thing I wanted to point out. Subscribers help, right? That's badass. It helps out a lot. But I think the views help more. I just think so. And if you don't have the time to subscribe, or you're just like, ah, this dude's too boring, that's cool. That's everybody's opinion. I have a thick skin, and the thing is, nobody could ever hurt you. Nobody could ever hurt me, right? I mean, emotionally or physically, unless it was done to you, my family. Then that's a different thing. But something was done to my family, right? Then that'd be a different thing. Even insults towards family members and all like that don't, they don't affect me. So I've had some people on some of these streams say some weird shit, and then it gets flagged, obviously. But I still go look at it. But I'm not bothered by it because I don't know you from a can of paint. I don't know you, and I don't care to know you, especially with certain attitudes or certain, I guess, energy. So I don't care to know you, and I do care to know what the issue is and what the problem is. If you express yourself, if you're willing to talk and say, "Hey, yeah, yeah, I have this issue towards this and that," I'm willing to hear you out, man. I'm human. I want to learn. All right, take a quick phone call. But yeah, like I've it's I can't let that stuff bother me because it's if it doesn't bother me in real life, why is it gonna bother me online or anything like that? That's somebody's opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and sometimes that's the sad truth. Um, but to them, I could say fuck you if I wanted to, but then that would just be me giving them that energy and that time I can't get back, even if it's for a few seconds. I try not to waste it on negative people because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what I'm capable of doing to somebody. I'm afraid for them. So I don't let it bother me because I'm in a great place where you know you it's hard not to see the positive stuff. But anyways, yeah, I want to do barbecues, like I said, just for the community, so people can network, kids can have fun, people can stay out of the streets, no accidents, because it doesn't necessarily have to be violent. Try to could just be accidents. A place to go hang out. I would love to do it every weekend, but that's gonna be costly, and I could only afford to do it out of my pocket, maybe once or twice a week. I mean, once or twice a month. Oh, but the views, from what I researched, that the views get um, percentage. I think it's like 1,000 views is like $10 or $1, or I don't know. I don't know how that works. But I know you eventually can monetize and make a living off of it. I would help to make a living off of it to help people make a living because I'm in a construction field. I have opportunities to doors, and by doors I mean to open doors for people that want to learn a trade, whether it's millwork, drywall, framing, electrical, low voltage, terminations, installations of panels, how to run conduit, how to program, how to commission. Uh, it's a wide range of stuff that I learned that I was able to attain, and I don't want to leave this world not giving some knowledge to somebody because that's how I'll continue to exist in a way, right? I'm not trying to exist forever, but my memory will live on if I could mold an electrician to my standards to what I feel they're going to be successful in the electrical field in trade, and then they go and they're trying to figure out an issue, a problem, and then they figure it out and they're like, "Oh, I remember Mario said to do it this way." And for that split moment, they're going to say, "Mario, I remember Mario taught me to do it this way." Or not even an issue, not even a problem, just a way to do a job, or a solution to anything in life. Because I try not to just limit any knowledge or piece of information and give somebody just in work. You know, I do that shit in life. As a matter of fact, one of my kiddos, is going to be a father. And he's a respectful young man. I would have never expected this. He's a respectful young man, right? Um, I had fathered children at a young age myself, so me jumping on his ass would have been very hypocritical, especially when they know that I had them at a young age. We had them at a young age, um, but it's a different feeling, right? Gonna be a grandpa. Um, I hope I don't look like a grandpa. I probably do. I know my kids and nephews and yeah, my nephews. They like to say "unc," I guess, like every kid does. But so yeah, my kiddo is gonna be a dad, and he didn't tell his mother in the best way, and she was just a little upset because it's a shocker. And of course, we all take information differently. Some of us get affected by it, and some of us find a solution and a way to cope with it and figure it out because we can't burn up energy just thinking about the problem. And we got to start figuring out the solution and how we get through it and how we deal with it. You can't do the undone. You can't undo the what's already been done. So um, I she told me, and so I asked her how she received it, and she was like, I was pretty pissed, and I didn't take it well. I was like, well, what did you tell him? Because you can't show him. He's our son. You can't show him any bad type of emotion, like it's a disappointment. To me, it was a disappointment that he didn't listen to me, but it wasn't a disappointment that he was going to be a father because I don't ever want my kids to feel that I would ever see anything they do as a disappointment, um, like a huge disappointment. But you know, I she told me that she didn't receive it too well. She kind of just told him, she'll talk to him later, and I was like, well, you left his mind. It's like leaving somebody on red. You don't know how the next person's going to receive it, that being your father. You don't know how he's going to receive that. So if your mother took it kind of, in a bad way, then your father's probably going to do the same. You got to kind of think about it like that. And so I called him right away just because I was going to wait till I got back to town so I could just sit down and have a man to man talk with him. So, but I didn't like the way I respect how she took it. That's how she feels. That's her son. Me on the other side, that's my, how I feel. I have the right because that's my son and I see it my way for me. But I didn't, I respected exactly. I was like, yeah, but we can't let him feel like he's alone in this. So I got to call him. And I know she told me he didn't want to, he didn't want me to know until I got back because he wanted to tell me, and I respect that. I love that about him. But I had to call him, and I asked him, and he was like, "No, I don't have nothing. You know, just casual. I don't have nothing to say." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "All right. Well, since you don't want to tell me, I'm gonna have to bring it up. Your mother told me this, and this is what happened, or this is what she told me." And he was kind of like, "Oh, yeah." And then he told me I wanted to tell you when he got back home, and I was like, "No, I know, and I appreciate that. The thing is, I know she didn't take it well, and I don't want you to feel that she's mad at you or disappointed in you, and I don't want you to feel that I'm disappointed or I'm mad at you as well. I just want you to know, it was something I told you not to do for, I don't know how long, but the fact that it's done, we're here now, we deal with it, we move forward. I want you to know that you and her are not alone in this. You don't have to worry about anything. We're going to get through this. We support you. If I told you anything, I'd be a hypocrite if I got mad at you. I just want you to know we just got to work a little harder. I got to work a little harder because you're still going to school. Oh, as a matter of fact, he's going to school to be a firefighter, and he's almost done. He's about maybe a semester away, but he's continuing to go to school because he wants to get a major in I forgot what kind of degree, but get a degree, a major degree, or something like that. I don't know too much about that. So um, I told him I just got to work a little harder and provide for more people now and do my most for more people. Do the best I can. I was like, but don't think you're alone in this. Don't feel like, you know, you can't come to us about anything, you know, and I want you to know, like, it just, we're just gonna have to make the best and create beautiful memories, and I got you. Don't ever worry about that. I got you till I can't no more, till I'm not here no more. And and then my babies, they're emotional, and they're so caring and loving that I can hear them crying on the phone. But I was like, I don't want you to be crying because I don't want to cry, but I'll talk to you soon, and you know, I just keep your head up. So he's been doing really great, and they're real respectful. They're very loving and caring kids. So, well, I call them kids, which is not good to say because he's 20 years old. I don't want to say kids having kids. That's what it feels like. But they're both in college. They're both doing good. My son's about to be a firefighter. And my daughter has a boyfriend that works for me. He's a smart kid. He has a license in HVAC. Um, super smart kid. He's 20 years old or 21, something like that. But I'm out. Time for breakfast, guys.